lounging, son.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Comic Lounge podcast. I am your host, your friendly neighborhood Spider Dill, with my co-host, the fastest Ryan alive, Ryan Sakai. Today we got a lot of stuff to talk about. There's some cool stuff that came out this week, really dope stuff that came out this week, actually.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about Flash, Josh Williamson's run, Volume 1. I accidentally picked up Book 1. We'll get into that when we get there. But, this week was pretty awesome. Daredevil 24 came out, which was freaking awesome. It's setting up for 25, which Dude, the cover alone for 25, like this fool in an orange jumpsuit with the orange Daredevil mask. I'm like, wait, they're going to let this fool wear a mask in prison? Tight.
I mean, you read the old stuff, right? When he was in jail with Brubaker's run?
Yeah.
Like, I've often talked to Mario about stuff, like how it seems like Zdarsky sometimes is retreading the old tropes, but like he's doing it in a way that doesn't like make me feel like, fuck, I've seen this shit. I'm bored, you know? To see him in jail again, but willingly, like, I don't know. I'm very excited to see, because I don't think he'll be in there as long as he was. Like, Brubaker's, he was in there for a few issues. Like, it was a while. I don't think we'll see that this time, but yeah, I'm very excited. Even though we just got an issue of Daredevil last week, like we were talking about before we recorded, like, to all you guys listening, there's literally going to be almost 2 full months with no Daredevil, because December 2nd, right, is Wednesday? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the 2nd, and then not till January 27th is the 26th issue coming out. So that's a while. That's a huge gap with Daredevil. So I'm never annoyed at a new Daredevil. So while some people may be like, oh, how could they do this? Like, you're also not getting it for 2 months. So quit your bitching, you know?
Yeah. Like, and also, if we were going to wait till the end of October, that's literally right before Christmas. And let's be real here. Oh, December. I'm sorry, December. And we like, if you know your Wednesdays, your freaking free, your new comic book days, Christmas. The Wednesday before Christmas is always a slow release day. There's
same with New Year's.
Same with New Year's. Yeah, because
remember last year, they released they're assholes, dude. They released new books on New Year's Day, so where we normally would have been closed last year, we were open, and we were fucking dead. We were absolutely dead. There was only there's fucking maybe 10 books released too, and I was like, why? Why are you releasing this day? Couldn't you have just skip a week, or just release trades or whatever? Like, come on, man.
Where was it like barely any big two? It was like mostly like Valiant.
No, it was a Venom. it was actually Venom issue. It was the final issue of Criminal of this last volume. So like, fuck, dude. I was mad. Well, I mean, I was happy that they released the books, but like, why couldn't we have just done it on Thursday, right? Like, why couldn't you just say, okay, books are coming out Thursday this week? Give us the fucking day off. Like, why did you have to put... And, like, you have to at that point. Like, shops could choose not to be open, but it's like, okay, well, then people go on Comixology and go buy their books digitally, you know? So,
yeah, nip it in the bud, bud.
That's right, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, bud.
Which is appropriate.
I read other history of the DC universe. Wow.
Yeah. I know. I don't know if you watched my video. I'm not. If you didn't, it's cool.
I didn't watch it because I didn't want it to get spoiled. I literally was like, I should probably watch it, but I haven't read it yet. And then I read it last night.
Blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you. It was hard for me to like really put into words, because like we talked about it a little bit briefly last week, and I talked about it so much at the shop trying to get people to buy the book. But so I kind of just I talked about literally what we're seeing, give a little bit of my opinions, but I mean, that's what Black Label should be. Am I right?
Dude, I was blown away. I'm not gonna lie, I was blown away. I didn't know 90% of this stuff. Black Lightning.
Same.
You know, not gonna lie. Like, to me, like, Black Lightning is Static Shock, like, you know, like in later iterations. But like, I didn't know any of this stuff. Like, I didn't watch the TV series. I heard it was good.
I heard it was good too. I haven't watched it. I only saw him in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover.
Yeah. And I was just like, holy crap, dude, this is fantastic. I didn't know this. And I love the perspective, and his feelings towards the Justice League was fucking amazing.
Dude, that was like one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, and he was like, and how he was literally freaking the man who stared down Superman. I was like, oh shit, dude. Like,
I know, dude. And I like that they put it in real time.
Yeah. So it was in it's set in the 60s. No,
72 to 95.
72 to 95. And it was fantastic. I mean, granted, it was a lot of prose. It was really dense. It was a lot of reading. And I mean, not that I don't like a lot of reading, but it's just like it wasn't a lot of reading to the point where it was just dragging. But at a certain point, I think it was closer to like the last 10 pages of it. I was just like, holy shit, this is like 40 pages. Like,
48. Yeah, it's 48 pages.
Like, dude. Yeah. And I was like, man, this is really good. Next thing I know, it's fucking 1 a.m. I'm like still reading it. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna finish this shit. Like, it was good, dude. It was fucking fantastic. I can't wait to see where they go with this. With like, if they like, you know, like we were saying last week, they're gonna explore different superheroes for other histories and see different perspectives. And if it's in real time, dude, everything's gonna go exactly how this went. Like, I really love that little Ronald Reagan Watchmen Easter egg they put in there.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I also liked his interpretation of Jon Stewart, right? And
because that's how he was portrayed. He was just like angry, right? Like that's how Denny O'Neil, I believe it was Denny O'Neil. I could be fucking wrong, but that's how he was portrayed in the 70s, right? Like he was very angry, very arrogant, right? And then he changes. That one panel, dude, like I've been a Green Lantern fan for fucking years, right? Like
same.
Like I picked up that first issue that Kyle Rayner with his new fucking crab face costume. That was my first Green Lantern comic, and I've been a fan since then. And I learned about all the history and stuff. I didn't read the issues, but you know where Jon Stewart is responsible for the death of a planet.
Yeah,
that
Xanshi,
panel,
dude, destroyed Xanshi.
Panel with the gun to his head. I don't remember ever seeing that. Maybe it never existed, but fuck, I was like, dude, that's powerful. Like John Ridley is a fantastic writer. Fantastic. Like obviously 12 Years a Slave was a great movie. I loved that movie. I thought it was really well written. I was excited from the minute he was announced. I was like, that's fucking interesting. An Academy Award winning screenwriter write a fucking comic book. You know what I mean? Like, and it's again
multiple comic books.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's Black Label. Yeah. And so like I just think he knocked it out of the park. And then Giuseppe Camuncoli, dude. What the fuck? His art style, like he's first of all, since he first started doing like Wildstorm books to like now he's doing Undiscovered Country. But if you compare his Undiscovered Country to his other history of the DCU, it's like, where did this come from? Right. That dude's fucking like emulating. I don't know who he's emulating, but his homages to like the previous art, like that Jon Stewart holding Hal Jordan, like that's a cover. You know what I mean? And like he recreated
the Action Comics recreation he did. I think the one where Jon Stewart is trying to off himself, that's also a cover too. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it might be a cover.
All right, maybe. I don't know. I know that Jon Stewart holding Hal Jordan is a Neil Adams cover. I know that Batman swinging through right before they show his Ace of the Outsider, that's a fucking cover. I can't remember the artist. I knew it when I was looking at it, but now it's escaping me. This is what DC should have been doing.
Yeah. They need to push it. They need to push it. This is prime example of what they're capable of. The boundaries that they can push without like being edgy and showing penises. And you know what I mean? If they make this kind of like a staple or like a shining example of what they could do, Black Label's going to take off.
I think it's going to be a perennial story.
Yeah.
That's what
and circling back to John Ridley, like I'm super excited for freaking his upcoming Batman stuff. That shit's going to be dope. Like I feel like he's gonna Hickman the whole future state thing. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of. I feel like whatever he does is gonna kind of spearhead the rest of it.
I mean, yeah, I don't even know what to expect. I mean, I got that Future State magazine they came out with. Everybody can pick up that book themselves. It's free. I know it's being speculated on, which is really stupid, but yeah. It's going for $5, a free comic book. Yeah. But anyways, if you guys haven't checked out the video where I talk about the other history of the DC Universe, please check it out. I know that I've said, many times I've talked a lot of shit about Black Label, and I addressed that in the video at the beginning, that while I have talked a lot of shit, it's because I wanted more stuff like this. And this is what I think it should be. And I'm excited to see if maybe they continue. I know that a lot of retailers still, there's that whole, is DC leaving the direct market? Do they care about comic books anymore? Are they just going to do graphic novels? I'm trying to be a little bit more optimistic because first of all, I don't think we'll ever not see a Batman comic book or Superman comic book on the shelves, a single issue. But, that's another conversation. But yeah, everybody check it out. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I figured you would.
I want more comics like this, honestly.
Yes.
Like this is like this is like the most mature thing I've read from the big two in a while. It's perspective. The perspective of it is just so well articulated and very poignant that I'm just like, holy crap, I want to know more now. And isn't that what comics is supposed to do? It's supposed to make you want to read more comics. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like a chore reading it, and now it makes me want to read more. Like, you know what I mean? Like Death Metal at this point, dude, I'm so behind. I'm just gonna fucking wait until 7 to catch up. Death Metal 7 to catch up. I got like 4 or 5 books to read. Like I literally, this is literally still sitting. Yes. Also, what else is on my to read pile? Friggin', what do you call The Universe Who Laughs with Laughing Cats.
Yeah.
The Multiverse Who Laughs.
The Multiverse Who Laughs, yeah. Yeah, I think like I said, there's only one tie-in that I haven't read, and that was Robin King.
Yeah.
That was the only one that I like opened. I opened it and I closed it. I was like, nope, I can't do this one, dude. I just can't do it. But otherwise, this stuff's been pretty solid. I'm excited for the last few tie-ins. They're like 80-page giants. The last story of the DCU.
Oh yeah.
Secret Origin
with the joining covers, dude. That shit was dope as fuck.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I am very excited about those issues. I think it's going to help set the stage along with Future State. So I'm very intrigued. I kind of almost want to sign up for all Future State and then just sell it all off when it's done.
And kind of sift through.
Yeah. And then just so I don't have to worry about not getting to read anything. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's a lot of books to fucking do. We'll see. I probably won't do that. That's a dumb choice. I'm glad I said it out loud. It helped me to decide that that's the fucking wrong move. Why would I sign up for all DC features? That's like signing up for all King of Black, which, by the way, is absolutely insane that people are doing that at the shop. Like, why would you do that? Why would you fucking get every single tie-in? Like, I would hate to have like a random issue of Captain Marvel if I'm not reading it, or a random issue of whatever. Like for me, like I pick and choose the tie-ins. I don't need to have every single piece, but.
And the thing is, with Marvel and their tie-ins, I don't know if they did it with X of Swords, but it seemed like they didn't. But like a lot of Marvel tie-ins, like take War of the Realms, for instance, right? I didn't get all the fucking tie-ins, and it didn't make the story all that. I mean, I read most of the tie-ins, but for the most part, I was like, I could have done without it. I could have done without that.
Yeah. I think all that was necessary was Thor and War of the Realms.
Thor, Avengers, Daredevil. Daredevil was super necessary.
There was a Daredevil tie-in?
Yeah. It was War Scrolls.
Oh, okay, but not Daredevil.
No. But it was a Daredevil story.
Yeah.
When he gets the sight of Heimdall.
Yeah.
That shit was dope, dude.
That was pretty dope.
Like, for a man who couldn't see anything, now sees everything. Let's fucking tie.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. That was pretty cool. I'm excited to read King of Black just because I like what they're doing in Venom, but to have all the tie-ins, like, you can miss me with that shit. Like, I don't.
Yeah, fuck that.
Not doing all that. But I do want to like Batman, Catwoman, dude. I got to read. I read it last Wednesday because we got our books early. No, actually, I read it on last Tuesday because they delivered the books. They delivered part of our shipment. We got one of the boxes on Tuesday, and then we got another box on Wednesday. But we were missing. We didn't get the third one. Yeah, I don't know why. It's broken up.
Dude, we haven't gotten any of our boxes yet. And our diamond order comes in on Monday.
Batman, Catwoman, homie. Dude, Clayman.
The fucking new goat.
He's the new goat, bro.
He's the new goat, dude.
He is a fucking elite talent, dude. His depiction of Joker in this book was out of control. And I know we've Joker before, but like, dude, I'm telling you, like, at first I was like, I'm not gonna spoil anything by saying this, but at first I was like a little confused while reading it. I'm like, what, like, what's going on? Like, I got lost a little bit, but then at the end, it kind of ties together, and it renewed my faith in Tom King because he's writing Rorschach, so that pisses me off. But it's phenomenal. It's great, and I can't wait to see the other 11 issues of this series because I mean. The art alone, like, nothing against Tom King, but you could take the words out, and I still would have loved that book. Because the art is just, it's just amazing.
I think Clayman's art in Heroes in Crisis was its saving grace, if you want to even call it that. Like I literally have the hardcover strictly for the art. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. It's Clayman is fucking the new GOAT, bro. Like, he's gonna fucking. I feel like I want to see him on a Marvel book.
You know, he did a Gambit series years ago. Yeah, I never read it. I think it was written by James Asmus, but he did art on that. I want to check it out. I was talking to Nick about it. I asked him if it was good, and he said it was good at the time. So I mean, he had it. So I mean, you know how you reread shit and you're like, oh fuck, it's not as good as I thought it was. Yeah, but I want to check it out. I mean, I've always loved Gambit, so I'm down to check that shit out.
And I feel like you and I like understand like the meaning of product of the time, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. You know? I mean, I can accept it. Like, there's a reason why when I go read an old issue of Spawn or Youngblood or fucking Shadowhawk or Savage Dragon, like, I can place myself in that time period and be like, dude, this is dope. I still like it. Yeah, like, I don't care. Say what you will about Liefeld's art, but that shit was fucking dope back then.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
And I can still be entertained by it, and then I can laugh at it a little bit too if I have to. So
look at this. Look at all these fucking pouches.
Yeah. Like, dude, how does he carry all that on his body? Like, that's crazy. What are in those pouches?
Like, well, how do you move with those shoulder pads?
Yeah. How do you turn your head and not smack yourself in the face with your fucking big ass shoulder pad?
There's big ass, and then why is there a shoulder cannon there?
Yeah.
Like, how?
Yeah. How does that work? Imagine having to get dressed every day, putting that on too. You're like, fuck,
dude, it's like I feel like it's like hockey players. Like, you need multiple people to help you get dressed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if like, what if like you're asleep in your chonies and then an emergency happens? You're like you're gonna be there like 20, 30 minutes late because fucking the shoulder pads are like 15 pounds.
It's telekinesis, bro. That's how he does it.
Oh. Okay, there's like an extremis armor. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, we just solved the problem, bro. Liefeld probably didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there you go. Telekinesis. Every superhero has some level of telekinesis. Like, you know, it's especially mutants.
I was just thinking Cable. I was just thinking purely Cable right now. You know, that's where I was thinking. I don't know which character you were. I mean, I know there's pads on all of them, but,
there's pads on all of them, dude.
I was simply thinking of fucking Cable with all his shit that he constantly had to carry at all times.
You know what I love? Okay. So back in the 90s when Wildcats and fucking Youngblood both came out, they were like, you know, simultaneous runs, right? Now you just compare the two, and it's like the Wildcats are all sleek, like very little. Like Zealot is like literally wearing almost nothing. The only person who actually like has real clothes on is Grifter, and then you move over to friggin' the Youngbloods, and everyone's just like fucking ornate as fuck. Like I'm like, damn. Like,
yeah. Shaft has got shit all over his fucking arm, like that, and fucking yeah, dude.
And then Bad Rock is like bigger than the freaking
literally
cover.
It's literally concrete.
Yeah. Hey, but you gotta love it. The 90s.
Yeah,
bro.
Dude. I don't care, dude. Like,
there was a lot worse choices in costumes in the 90s. Like in the Invisible Woman's freaking 4 in her boob holes, you know?
that was trash, dude. That was such trash.
Wearing football pads.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, dude. Daredevil's fucking armor that he was wearing right before Marvel Knights. Captain America when he was wearing that stupid armor too. Oh my god, there's so much trash back then. I mean, I'll read them, but you know, I mean, like so we went over to Spiro's.
How's a nice shop, by the way?
A couple. Spiro's? It's smaller. It's cool though. Like Lauren was out of town. It was when Lauren was out of town. I was like, oh, I'll take this opportunity. I've been wanting to go. Let's fucking roll over there. And I I bought like a bunch of fucking like 90s image shit
Nice.
and just like a bunch of just stuff that I knew Nick would fucking talk shit to me about. And
Nick needs to let his hate go.
So I went into work. And actually, no, we ended up going a second time also because I had a box of just random crap that I'm like, you know what? I'm never going to list this on eBay. It's all like not even in great condition. I'll just see what they give me. They gave me like $15.
Hey, that's fucking $15 you didn't have.
Yeah. And well, I ended up buying more comics, more 90s comics. But so I told Nick what I was getting. I was like, oh, yeah, dude, I got some Youngblood. I got some fucking Blood. What was it? Blood Strike. Fucking Wildcats and some Savage Dragon and like some Shadow. I was like telling him all this stuff, and he just looked at me and he's like, "Why? Why would you get that?" And I was like, and that's why we didn't invite you to come with us because we knew that the entire time all you would do is look at us like, "Oh, you like that?
You buy that?
You're gonna buy that?
Are you really gonna buy that?"
Yeah. So it was really funny, dude. It was like, and he just started laughing because he's like, "Yeah, that's what I would have said the entire time." But yeah, I love that shit, dude. Get 50 cents. I'll fucking buy Next Men #1 by John Byrne for 50 cents. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like it's cool. It's just cool to have. It's like it cost me $2. I'm fine with buying a comic book for 50 cents.
It costs you more to put air in your tires than it does to buy that comic.
Yeah. So I mean, I got some cool shit, dude. I got some like, you know, just some random stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I digress. I don't even know how. Oh, we were talking about Liefeld and pouches. That's why.
Liefeld and pouches.
But yeah, I think that is that. Like, I think that's one release that came out last week. We're pretty slow. I don't know about how you guys were at the shop, but we were not.
We started our Black Friday.
So did we.
Wednesday. Really, so dude? We were crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, your sale's only this weekend, though.
Yeah, but you guys have every week.
So what we're doing is we're having a sale every Friday, Friday, Saturday for the whole month until like Christmas, right? Leading up to Christmas, I think that's how it's spacing it out because like Wednesday we were busy, but like we had like a 50% off everything on the shelf, like all single comics were 50% off.
Wow.
Except unless they were 2 weeks newer, which not a lot of people even. I mean, at least on Wednesday, not a lot of people fucking really partook in that. And then if you buy the first trade, you get the second trade half off, the second volume. Like a first volume and a second volume, which is cool because like I got one of the regulars, he's a sub. I've been trying to get him to buy Bitterroot. So he bought Bitterroot 1 and 2, which was dope. And because I bug him all the time, I'm like, dude, you're going to buy Nightwing, but you're not going to buy like the Bitter. I was like, you're not going to buy
Nightwing?
Trash. It's not Lobdell. It's Dan Jurgens. I don't know. Just it was kind of slow. I think it's partially because of like this partial lockdown that they're doing. I think people are just kind of like, if I don't have to go out, I won't. And plus, people don't have fucking money. Who the fuck has money to buy shit on sale? You're lowering, especially like the restaurant industry. Like, look, you know what you got going on. I got going on. Lord, I don't know.
It's rough, dude.
Yeah.
Like Los Angeles, like, you know, California is just fucking going through it. Like, because fucking supervillain Gavin Newsom.
Straight out of a fucking Spawn comic. You know, he's a 90s image politician. That's what he is, dude. 90s image politician.
Just dripping grease off the slick back hair.
Dude, like it's got staining his fucking shirt. You can see it, dude. Who's that guy? He's like Rudy Giuliani, right? Where his hair dye was like dripping down his.
Dude, okay.
Oh my God.
Rudy Giuliani, the savior of New York, right? Fucking how far the mighty have fallen. This fool is like literally the worst. Like I thought it was bad when he was on Borat about to get a fucking blowy. Now, and then fucking now he's he's just a crazy person that yells on television now.
I know. It's almost like we're living in a 90s
image comic with no superheroes.
No heroes. There's no fucking guys with pouches jumping to save us. There's no giant fucking green dude with a fin on his head.
Yeah, there's no gray-haired, scantily clad woman in red fucking fighting with swords.
Yeah. Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
There's no...
Anyway, all right, we're fucking totally digressing. We got dark. We brought it back. We circled it back into 97. Let's talk Flash, dude.
Let's talk Flash. Oh, okay. So this is my first read, right?
Yeah. Do you have the book with you?
Yeah.
Can you read the credits? Because I had to read my single issues.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me just switch back. All right, The Flash, Volume 1 by Joshua Williamson, Carmine D.
Gian Domenico.
Gian Domenico, thank you, because I was gonna sound the shit out of that and probably destroy it. And also by Neil Googe, Felipe Watanabe, Andrew Curry, Eau Claire Albert, Jorge Corona, David Gianfelici. Yeah. Colors by Ivan Placencia. We love Ivan Placencia around here. He's fantastic. And Chris Sotomayor. Letters by Steve Wands. But
I'm going to ask you. Let me just ask you, as if I'm like interviewing you almost.
Okay.
So you don't read a lot of Flash.
I
think everybody knows, like what a huge fan of Flash I am. I have him tattooed on my fucking arm. Flash is my first comic book. I mean, anybody that has listened to this channel, this podcast, any articles on my site, everybody has to know. But like you read some Mark Waid, but I don't even know that you read the Jeff Johns stuff, right?
I read Rebirth.
Okay, but his run though with Wally, like you didn't read that stuff. You read Flashpoint, obviously. I'm sure you read that.
Yeah.
What was
I read The Button.
Okay, so what? Oh, so the like 20 issues into this Flash run you read. That was across the Batman.
Yeah, they talk about it in the beginning of this, and I was like, oh, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I fucking loved it from the beginning. Talking to Williamson on a couple occasions, in person, on the phone, like it's so fucking evident that, and I think you can tell early on that he has a love for this character and its world of characters, right? Yeah. And that's why I loved it. But I want to hear what your take on it was, because you didn't read this. I've read every issue of this run.
No, this is my first go around. And to be frank with you, dude, I'm gonna finish this whole entire run. I'm gonna read the whole fucking thing. I already feel it right now. Like, I'm obviously, because I've read some Flash and I'm very familiar with certain things like the Speed Force and okay. Well, first let me tell you what did it for me. Joshua Williamson, when he did Speed Metal, I was just like, man, this is fucking good, and this is only one issue. Like, what led to this? This is what sparked my interest. I was like, fuck yeah, let's fucking do it. And I was already somewhat of a fan of Joshua Williamson anyway, because freaking Nailbiter is awesome.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I love pretty much everything about Nailbiter. I like it. It's smart. It's new. It's fresh. But his take on Flash, and you and I have talked. Like, let's be real here. Like, I haven't gotten to the Wally parts of it yet, so I'm waiting for that because I want to get to know more Wally. But if not more, freaking solidified my favoritism towards Barry at the moment. But like, man, this like the understanding of the Speed Force, the heart is the fucking key of all this. Like throughout most of this book, it's like it's Barry struggling with the fact that he can't be everywhere in two places. He can't. Yeah. He's finding it hard to juggle his personal life, his love life, his career, and being the Flash. And there's an instance, and I think it's the first chapter of this, where he's running and he's just fucking running because he says everything just becomes muscle memory, and I just get lost in thought, and then I go out and save people, and I go out and help wherever I can. And like, dude, Barry has the fucking biggest heart in the entire Justice League. Like, say what you want about Superman, whatever, but like Barry, like, especially when you get further on into this, where he's talking about how vengeance isn't justice, and like how you got to go through due process and you got to do everything, but you have to do it right. Like that, I was just like, damn, dude, you're like the fastest man alive. You can literally murder everyone and anyone, and no one would even know. Like, no one would even know. And you're just like, nah, bro, I gotta help. Help, and when I help, I have to do it right. Because at the end of the day, if you circle it back, dude's still a good cop. You know what I mean? He's still a good cop. Like, he never strays away from that, which is fantastic. I like Godspeed.
Godspeed a dope creation. Yeah.
Yeah, Godspeed. Totally didn't see that coming. Like the whole little twist. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was just gonna be like another like a thing with Zoom where it was someone else from like somewhere in time that tapped into the Speed Force and traveled back in time to freaking fuck with Barry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The reintroduction of original Wally West, fucking fantastic. I'm a little confused. Maybe you can clear it up for me because keep in mind, I barely read any of the New 52.
Bring it, bro. I'm the Flash guru over here. Let's do it.
All right, so there's 2 Wally Wests.
Correct.
Okay, how is...
I'll let you know right now. Okay. So first of all, before I say that, I want to talk about the Godspeed, how you didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
The second read, I picked up more clues. The third read, because I read it last night and finished it this morning, I picked up more clues. So if you read it again, you'll start to see a little inkling that it is August, but then there's also, who Godspeed is, but then there's also inklings that like, well, you're like, how's that possible? And then you learn how it was possible, right? Yeah. By the end of the arc, which is really dope. But back to Wally. So basically, you had Flashpoint, right? I'll start at Flashpoint because I could go back and like it's just too much, right? So Flashpoint,
yeah.
We come back, we get New 52, right? Everything's changed. There's no Wally. Yeah. Everybody's younger. Batman's younger. He hasn't been around as long. I think only like 6 or 7 years. Superman hasn't been. All the heroes have not been around as long. There's no JSA. No. Superman, Batman, Flash, Barry, Green Lantern, all those characters, the Silver Age characters, are the first superheroes, right? So there was no Wally, and I'm like, that was one of my major gripes, is that you fucking took off my favorite fucking character of DC. You just like erased him. He's gone. And then they eventually introduced Wallace. Not Wally, but Wallace is how they refer to him, right? I was pissed. He's not the same. He doesn't even have the same dad as Wally. Like he was a different brother, different West brother, right? And so that's how that happened. So they basically, and then they clean it up in this series. And you'll see it more going forward. Because I also read Flash Year One, which is in like towards the end of Williamson's Flash run. I read that also this week, just because I knew it wasn't gonna. It's not like it's gonna ruin anything for me, right? I missed it. So I saw also in there how they retconned.
Is that the one with the dope cover where this fool's changing? Like he's like sitting on a pile of shoes.
Yes. Yeah.
The sneakerhead he loves that shit.
Oh, it's dope. It's a great arc, and so Wallace has the way they weaved it in is that they have different powers or different fathers, right? And now they coexist because now Wally's back, where Wally was gone at the end of Flashpoint, and then we also learn from Doomsday Clock not from Doomsday Clock. We learn in the Titans series that Abracadabra, a Silver Age villain, took Wally out. So it wasn't the Dr. Manhattan Doomsday Clock that was the cause for Wally to be gone. Abracadabra hates Wally West, right? And you learn that in Mark Waid's run. That's how like that dynamic, right?
Yeah.
So he took him out and made people forget him. That's why Barry didn't remember him, and that's why in the Rebirth special, when he sees Wally again, Wally's about to disappear. He's about to fucking be completely forgotten and erased from existence. And then he keeps like trying to connect to people from his past. He sees Barry. Barry looks at him and says Wally, and that's what brings Wally back. But he's also younger, and he's in his old Kid Flash costume, but he still remembers. He remembers everything pre-Flashpoint. He remembers having a wife. He remembers having his kids. Right. And so like that's what we learn more. That's what Williamson kind of fixes in his run, is he kind of makes it so that Wallace and Wally they coexist, and he that's a lot of the dynamic is that Wally doesn't appear much in this Flash run, and that's one of the things Williamson said he wished he could have done. He wished he could have done more with Wally. Like they have the Flash War arc. There's some stuff that plays out that you'll
This shit makes me want to read Titans now. See, this is what good comics do. It makes you want to read more shit.
All you need is the first arc. Don't read anything else other than that. I'm just being honest. No, it's
funny. I know you are. That's funny.
Yeah, it's. But yeah, so that's kind of that I don't understand how the creation of Wallace came about. They never tried to say that it was the same Wally. That's all I know. Okay, so that was a long-winded answer. I'm sorry, but
no, that's fine. That cleared a lot of shit up for me.
I think Dan DiDio didn't really like Wally. I think it made him like, because they were trying to go with Barry, right? So like that ages Barry, that makes him too old if he has a grown sidekick that's now been Flash, right? So that was a way to get rid of that. But you know,
no, but I mean, I'm really looking forward to more of this run.
Yeah,
the art's phenomenal. Like I said, Godspeed was dope. Just the idea of the Speed Force storm was dope. Like a bunch of people getting struck by lightning, and then everyone has the Speed Force. But the dope thing that I like what Williamson did here is that he kind of like personified the Speed Force itself, right? Like it was a living thing. Where
I mean, it's been done before.
Yeah, okay, but you know what I mean.
But that's what you enjoyed about it, yes.
Yeah, that's what I enjoyed about it, and how it went. You know how it fractured and went off to different people. So the Flash himself, Barry himself, felt a little weaker. You know what I mean? Like I really like that, because then it's not like when you introduce multiple Kryptonians, all the Kryptonians are all fucking powerful as shit, and
right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, so you just have more Kryptonians. Fuck. You know what I mean? Like, what are we gonna do now? But it was. I really liked how that was executed. Dude, it's great. I don't know what else to say other than freaking. I'm really excited for it. And I'm gonna take suggestions from you on to what more. I should probably read more Wade stuff for more Wally, right?
Yes, I would. Okay, the first few Mark Waid trades, or the first one's rough.
Yeah.
I'll admit, it's a little rough, okay? I did like the Born Again arc, which is like kind of Wally West year one when he first became Kid Flash. That was a good 4-issue arc. But then there's a couple like almost feel like filler issues and stuff, but then it picks up steam with Return of Barry Allen. And that story arc's really dope. But all of Jeff Johns, all of his run is phenomenal. I don't know how, like, I grew up with Wally, so Wally's my favorite Flash. Mm-hmm. And he always will be. No matter how much I grow to like Barry, it's just, he could never surpass. I mean, I think it's even proven in the comics, Wally's faster.
No,
Wally he's more in tune with...
Yeah, I remember seeing a chart, and it showed all the Flashes and said, Wally's the fastest.
Yes, because he's more in tune with the Speed Force than any of them. Even though Barry, essentially, we learn, is almost the creator of the Speed Force. I forgot what arc we learned that in. Like, he generates the Speed Force. It's like generated through him. I think Jeff Johns did that. I could be wrong. I have so much Flash stuff in my head that sometimes I mix it up.
Overlaps.
But I would read Mark Waid's run. They're gonna do a book 8 finally. It's going to come out, which I just saw solicited. I'm very excited for that because I love that particular arc. All of Jeff Johns. But, the thing I love about this is that I didn't care for Barry at all. Flash Rebirth, I was like, cool, he's back, whatever, I didn't like that it pushed Wally to the side. I read recently the pre-Flashpoint Jeff Johns Barry Allen run, which is about 10 to 12 issues. I can't remember exactly the number. That was good. Then the New 52, I was like, okay, this is cool. The art, Francis Manipul's art, was what drew me originally.
Yeah.
For the second half of that run, I did not really care for. I got it out of loyalty to the Flash. But Williamson made me a Barry fan. He truly made me a fan of Barry Allen.
That's tight.
And
that's dope.
I love how he did. I mean, look, if you look at Blackest Night, right? Barry Allen got the Blue Lantern ring. That's the hope. Symbol of hope. Yeah. Barry Allen is a symbol of hope. And the growth, like, it's hard for me to generalize this to just this first trade. So I'm going to say something without spoiling it, but this run, 101 issues, it really personifies and shows the growth of, like, Barry Allen letting go of the past and moving forward. That is, like, the main thing of this run. Right?
Yeah.
But also, he brings back everything that I love about the Flash. He brings back characters that were gone in New 52 and truly creates the Flash family again. And I hope that we see more of it moving forward, but I feel like now with Future State and like DC doing whatever they're doing, I feel like I may not get it. But that last arc, if that's all I have to get those characters back, like I'm cool with it because he brought back like characters that I thought I'd never see again in DC comic. I thought like that was it. They're done, right?
Yeah.
But I like that we also see a character that has had such a horrific thing happen to them in his childhood, because that also was retcon. That was Jeff Johns creating that past for Barry Allen. His parents were alive all through the Silver Age. They weren't. His mom wasn't murdered. He added that to add like this new level of Barry, to kind of make him less boring, which is what people viewed him as.
He's just fast. That's it.
That and his personality, like he didn't really have one. Kind of, if you read the Silver Age stuff, he's like, at least Hal Jordan was cocky. He was, he had this bravado, right? Barry Allen was just kind of there, Yeah. But Williamson is a fantastic writer. I think he's, like I said, I think he's one of the people. I don't want to say this because I feel like he can be overlooked by the larger audience. I don't think I don't think there's a vast amount of people that look at him as like, oh, he's an A-list writer. I do. I think he's amazing. I mean, look, he's the only writer that started Rebirth, and he was the last one standing. Yeah. He did the longest run, and I think he might be one of the longest Flash runs in history. And I think that more people should check this out. Or I was super excited that when you said you were going to read it, I'm like, dude, that's dope. Like, that's why I'm glad we were able to fucking push this into the podcast, because I think Flash is often looked at as like, oh, he's a boring character, or, oh, cool, he runs fast. But like, it's the man underneath the costume that makes him so special too. Like, I know Mario has often said like, oh, they only show him in the costume. Like, they don't show him enough. Like with Wally, with Jeff Johns. Oh, he's always in costume. It's like, yeah, because the world knows his secret identity. Everybody knows who the fuck Wally West is. He doesn't have a day job. He's the fucking Flash, and the world knows it. So like, that's what he does, right? But with Barry, like, Mario has said that like it'd be cool to see more of the CSI aspect. Yeah. Of like in a comic book, which yes, I would, and I think that that's what was dope about this is that like the first arc was about a serial killer, a serial killer that has powers from the Speed Force. Like that's basically what Godspeed is a fucking serial killer, and it was kind of mass murder, and it was a mystery, and it was like kind of a little bit of a detective story, and like I like you said, like it touched back to the Button, right? That story arc, and of course Barry Allen and Bruce Wayne would come together. He's a police scientist. He's the world's greatest detective. Who else would you have solving a fucking mystery? These two characters,
the greatest mystery,
right? So I love that.
Everything we have now.
Yeah, I think Williamson he wrote the most complete story, in honoring the past and then while also fucking staying true to what was going on in the current stuff. Like I think he's one of the greatest Flash writers for sure. And I know that there's not a lot of runs, but I mean Joshua Williamson, Jeff Johns, Mark Waid. I don't need anybody else at that point. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of it.
And the art,
Oh, dude.
Carmine Di Domenico, his art. I was like, where did this dude come from?
Dude, Godspeed's character design, fucking dope. So good.
I mean, he was even on the Flash show. That's how fucking. That's how like quick like people fucking like latched onto that character and people liked it. Like, what Flash season 4 or 5 or whatever season it was, like he already made his appearance. The costume looked exactly the same. It was a little bit different origin, obviously, but
And what's dope too? It's like everybody in the Speed who's really like like you look at people who like in touch with the Speed Force and they all essentially look the same. You have freaking Zoom, you have Flash, you have Barry, you have Kid Flash. Yeah, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere you get Godspeed, who just looks fucking amazing. I really like, but I really like how aside from Barry and Wally's, OG Red Flash suit, everybody has their own character, and it really exudes within the costume and within their dialogue. Because, dude, obviously Zoom's a psychopath, and then Godspeed has this diluted freaking view of what is right and what justice is, right? Yeah. And that like that conversation at the end with Barry and August. That shit was dope. It was like it's a little like low key menacing.
The one in Iron Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was low key menacing. I was like, you don't even know, Barry. You're fucking dumb. like that's literally what he just said.
Yeah.
It was like, you don't even know half of it. Here you go again. I'm just gonna keep that for when I'm just keep that ace in the hole for when you come crawling back to me for help. And I'm just like, all right, tired. Like Godspeed. I mean, obviously I know like the Flash Force stuff. I know that he makes his return, but like I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that whole fucking thing, dude. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, it's a great run, dude. I mean, I'm telling you, it's one of the most solid runs that DC's had in years. Like I can't even think of I mean, Scott Snyder's Justice League was cool, but like this was fucking just like from beginning to end. Like there's obviously like fill-in issues or stuff, maybe an arc that wasn't exactly my favorite, but overall, like I'd give it like a 9 out of 10 overall. Yeah. From beginning to end, like it was very solid. I think he did what he wanted to do for the most part. He was able to kind of stay away from some of the other bullshit going on with DC in terms of like whatever story arcs they were doing. I just hope that whoever takes over Flash next, that it's not shit. I haven't read this new Flash, the last 3 issues. I mean, it was a fill-in arc before this Endless Winter, whatever the fuck that they're doing. Oh god.
Well, I don't know what's happening, but a person can be hopeful. Tom Taylor's Suicide Squad's about to end soon, right? Or it ended, right? It was last.
It ended last week, yeah.
Yeah, last week. So I mean, Tom Taylor has an open slot in his schedule. I'm just saying, like, I would love to see Flash written by Tom Taylor, where he just kills everybody off and just destroys our hearts.
I think he needs to do Green Arrow, Black Canary, dude.
I think so too. I think that would be fantastic. I think he would do really well with a lot of DC characters. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like the character depth in a lot of DC characters is a lot more in tune to his writing style than it would be for Marvel. I'm not saying that Tom Taylor shouldn't write Marvel anymore, because his Marvel stuff has been phenomenal. Like All New Wolverine. I loved X-Men Red, even though the other X-Men Blue and X-Men Gold were fucking trash. X-Men Red was like the shining light in X-Men pre-Hickman. Like that shit was fantastic. And I just think that the character depth in DC would keep in mind, like, I freaking swooned over fucking the first deceased story arc. So I haven't read Suicide Squad, but I'm planning to. I'm like, essentially trade waiting it, but at this point. But like, I feel like he's really good if they give him more to do and some like more big titles to do. I feel like Tom Taylor can really fucking excel in DC.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think they should go all in on him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's exclusive.
They have him
or
now.
not.
Why not?
I think they should give Tom Taylor an exclusive. I want to see him on. I don't even care. It doesn't even need to be a big title, man, because he can make a smaller title good. He could do a good job. Suicide Squad. I read the first issue. I wasn't blown away, but I've never been a huge Suicide Squad fan either. Exactly. So that might have been the reason. And I'm waiting to see the March solicitations from DC. That's when we'll know what the fuck they're doing, really. Because I know that, like, Williamson said he's got some titles that he's working on. I think maybe more than one. I could be wrong. I know he doesn't want to ever do a long run again. He said he'll never do a 100-issue run on any comic ever again. He said it was just like, it was a lot of work. But I mean, he knocked it out of the park too. So I think people should check this out. I know Flash is not necessarily a character everybody likes, but take yourself, allow yourself to check it out. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that run lasted with him on as writer for so long, and it's because it was good. And you know what I mean? If it wasn't good, they would have got a new fucking writer on there, right? Like, how many writers have we seen on? Some of the books they got canceled and relaunched. Yeah. So I think that, this is definitely a title that deserves more shine. And I mean, I will continue to talk about Flash on the channel. I'm just going to keep on.
I'll just keep on bringing it up as I read through it.
I'm down to jump into like another arc in the future too. Like maybe when you get to like Flash War or something. down to like talk about that when you get to that point, because that one's one of my favorite arcs for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, so both unanimous. Fucking everybody needs to check it out.
Yeah.
All right. What are you excited for next week?
I gotta check my poll. I don't remember what's coming out.
I got my poll up, and we were just talking about Tom Taylor, Deceased #6, Dead Planet #6. Super excited for. Strange Adventures. Like I said, I'm waiting every 3 issues to read. That way I could get chunks of it rather than fucking weird fucking chapters. And Firepower 6, Daredevil 25.
Oh, Daredevil, yeah. Why can't I remember what the fuck came out? Oh yeah. Oh, Batman Catwoman. I mean, I'm not excited. I'm not excited for it anymore because I read it. I'm probably gonna do a video and I'll post it Monday. Well, maybe I should wait. I'll post it Wednesday so that people have time to
post it Wednesday morning. That way you could be like, "Hey, look, pick this up. It's dope." Boom.
Yeah. So I mean, and then the new Hellboy comic coming out, the one shot. This was also announced pre-pandemic, so I'm always excited for new Hellboy, new Firepower. I think you already said that probably.
Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's like Ten of Swords is done, so I don't have as much I even need to read. Like,
and now we wait for the hardcover.
Yeah, I'm not buying that shit. $100? Dude, come on, man. You just released House and Powers for $60. Come on, bro.
Yeah, but this is 22 issues, though.
Yeah, House of Powers is every like 20. Issue of House.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Every issue of House of Powers was like $6.
Yeah, you're right. They were oversized. So, like, I don't know what the difference in page count is, but come on, man. Like, I don't even know that it'll sell as well as House and Powers did either. And maybe that's why they put the price high, because like, we're probably not gonna sell as many.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think that so far the book that I haven't read, because Catwoman I was very excited for, but Daredevil I think is my number one. New Miles Morales, I'm liking that series. That series is pretty dope. I don't think, is there anything? Oh, King of Black comes out.
Oh, does it start next week? No, does it?
Yeah.
I gotta catch up. I just started the second. What do you call the second Venom trade?
Oh, you're only on the second one?
Yeah, dude. Dude, I thought I was gonna get a lot of reading done this week. LOL. Yeah. Fucking, that didn't happen. Fucking.
I know. I didn't read much this week either. To be honest with you, I think I don't know what I was doing. I just wasn't. I didn't feel like fucking reading a shit ton. Like I think I only read a couple trades. I don't know. Yeah. It's on my Goodreads. I don't even know what the fuck I read.
All right, well, shit, I'm done.
All right, I'm good. And then next week we have Wonder Woman by Greg Rucka, another DC book.
I have some questions about where that run actually starts. On Hoopla, they do it by books.
Yeah, do book 1.
Yeah. Do book 1, but it's like the one that just came out recently, right?
Yes.
Like, I know they. Okay.
That's the one. It
came out like 2019.
That's the one. Wonder Woman by Greg Rucka. Book 1 is what I'm gonna be reading. So that
we're gonna do a whole book 1.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Right? I mean, we did 3 trades on last week's episode, so I don't think this book is less. This is less issues than that. So and it's a quick read. It's not as I don't know. You'll probably want to continue reading it too. It was a great run. So.
I just love my total immersion with like a lot of DC characters now. Like it's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it already solidified something that I already knew, that DC had better characters. But I think Marvel was just more fun. But I think I'm done having fun. I mean, I'm not done having fun, but
we're never done.
We're never done. We like to have fun here.
Yeah,
we like to have fun here, and. And I'm also gonna start the Deadly Class Deluxe Edition next week, probably. Because
first one,
book 2.
Oh, book 2. I know. I have the hardcover at work, the first one, but the second one is out of print, and it's so much money that I'm like, fuck. I don't even know if I want to buy the first one if I'm not gonna be able to get the second one.
Well, they have to put it back into print because 1991 is gonna start next year. So like, how are people gonna catch up?
The trades. So that's what I'm worried about. Like, it's been sitting there. I'll keep it there until I know for sure that, because whatever. They don't care if I hold it. Right. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we got. It's been another episode of the Comic Lounge podcast. If you're not already, following us. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Comic Lounge. You can follow Dylan at The Dillbot. Just want to send your comments or suggestions, put them down below, or you can email us at thecomicloungepod@gmail.com. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new episode goes up on YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, and hit the bell icon also so you're notified every time a new one goes up. And on that note, we're out.
Later, buds.